Bike racing is always changing, and tonight it changes a little more with Formula Fixed as we try a little something new out here in California. Brad Soner here alongside Veronica Volek. We'll also have Nico de Portago Cabrera with us out in the field as we get ready for what is set to be a wild night of fixed gear racing here at Formula Fixed. Veronica, I'm going to start with you. Take us through what tonight is all about and why this style of bike racing is so different from any other.
Absolutely, Brad. We are reigniting fixed gear racing tonight. The whole point of this is to show the people what this is about. Historic fixed gear racing has not been something that you can just easily watch online, unless maybe somebody's streaming it on Instagram. Where now, James Grady, he wants to show the world what fixed gear is all about, especially on a track like. Yeah, Brad, it's gonna be a really good time, and I'm really excited for the folks watching at home that they will be able to see this live. I think this is gonna be history in the making.
Let's start with some of the elements of racing tonight. I want to start with the machines. That is maybe the biggest difference that most people will see if they've watched bike racing before, whether it was BMX racing, mountain bike racing, road racing. What's the biggest difference on the bikes that they'll be riding tonight?
Well, the biggest difference is there are no brakes, ladies and gentlemen. That means that these people cannot stop with levers or their brake pads. Like, no. It's all about foot retention. So really the magic is patience and strength. And as you can hear, we got this starting very, very, very shortly. But yeah, fixed gear, it takes a lot of courage and strength to do, but once you do it, you feel like you're floating on the clouds. The other big thing about this is not only do you not have brakes on your bikes, but you also have one gear, so meaning that your pedals are only going forward. They cannot go backwards. They cannot stop. You are pedaling until you cannot pedal anymore.
Getting a good look at a race course tonight on a repurposed go-kart track out here in California. Veronica, what is racing on a tight course like this going to be like? A lot of these riders will have experience maybe racing on a street track, but very few will have experience on a course this tight.
Yes, so because we are on a karting track, the surface is going to be really, really smooth. So what we've been seeing in the qualifying rounds is that there have been a lot of crashes. There's been a lot of slipping. We also have a lot of tight corners and tight turns. The other big thing too is that if a rider goes a little bit too tight, they can pedal strike, meaning that their pedal will hit the ground and they can likely go down as well as take others down with them. So this is really unique. This is not something that you can do every day. To do a race like this, you gotta be kind of a big dog.
Talk to me about what type of riders this favors. Will fitness get you very far in tonight's race? Is it about bike handling? Is it a mix of both? What type of rider is going to excel tonight?
It's absolutely about having a mix of both. You got to be strong in order to pedal. I believe that the cyclocross racers are going to have a really good advantage just because this is a technical course. And cross racing, it's all about technicalities, baby. You're going to have the dirt, you're going to have the tight turn. You got a lot of tight turns. I believe also the track stars are going to have an upper hand in this. All those bikes, they know pedaling. I don't think this course will favor them, but I think for the folks that enjoy that tech, know how to take those race lines, are going to do very, very well. So far in qualifying, what we've been seeing is that, we got track world champions, fixed gear champions. They're showing that they can do this. A lot of folks that haven't raced in a few years are showing that they still strength and muscle memory. So it's a really spicy night tonight.
Talked about the qualifiers earlier today. We have been doing qualifiers for the better part of the day today into the semifinals and finals tonight, which we're getting ready to broadcast here. So the riders that will make it to the semis mean they made it through the qualifiers, and now first two riders from each of the semifinal heats will go on to the final heat. There will also be a second chance round for the riders who get third and fourth in each of these individual heats. They will also move on to meet the winners of those three semifinal heats in the final. So 8 riders on course at a time. Basically every lap, the last rider in the race is eliminated from the course. So every time they go through that start-finish line, whoever's at the back of the group is essentially kicked out of the race. Veronica, this is another very different style of racing. You're used to racing at the front, trying to be the first rider there, but in Formula Fixed, it's really about surviving until you get to those last couple riders.
Absolutely, Brad. And anything can happen here. I mean, just because you start in first doesn't mean that you're going to stay first. Though ideally, that is what you want as a racer, to not only get in front, but stay out in front and really try to build a lead so that the other rider behind you cannot catch up to you.
You have plenty of experience as a fixed gear racer. Talk to me about the history of fixed gear racing so that people can really sort of understand how we got to where we are today. It wasn't always LED lights and drones flying around in these very cool racetracks. There are humble origins in fixed gear racing.
Absolutely, Brad. Yeah, no, fixed gear really started from just bike messengers and just people wanting to ride their track bikes and, you know, starting races in a parking lot, and then it kind of going and growing from there. You know, a big famous race is the Red Hook Crit, which was based in Brooklyn, or actually Red Hook, New York. And that was just, you know, somebody wanted to have a birthday, get their friends together, get the messengers together, and just race their bikes fucking fast. And I think that's the beauty of the sport, is that it's just not like anything else. Very unsanctioned, sometimes illegal, which, you know, we like that. So it is interesting having a race like this where, you know, you do have a course, you have cameras, you have lights, you have people, you know, telling you what you need to do, and there's rules and these rules.
A lot of those rules will apply to the equipment. They do have a equipment check here on site where the riders have to make sure that obviously their bikes are fit and safe to ride, but also making sure that they don't have brakes, they don't have gears, and of course that they're not able to coast as well. So all of these bikes have gone through a semi-rigorous check, I would say. We're not quite to the level of some certain governing bodies, but they will make sure that they are riding within the rules of a fixed gear race, which means no brakes, no gears, and special handlebars as well. They do have to have drop bars on the handlebars here, which are the bars that bend down. So that pretty much does it for the bikes. The other question that I heard a lot in the pre-race discussion was what tire pressure these riders were going to be running. That was a big part of being able to handle this course because there's so tight turns. It seems like a lot of riders are favoring bigger tires, lower pressure, because that gives them more grip in these tight corners.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you have too much air in your tires, you are very likely going to slip, especially when you're taking that turn. Most of these riders are riding on slick tires. So you can only imagine that when you're riding slick on a slick surface, too much air. I've been hearing a lot of riders also during quality changing their tire pressure, changing their gears, you know, some going with a bigger gear and then small back. You know, it's all about what feels good. You don't want to spin out too quickly momentum. But then if you have big gear, sometimes you'll feel tired trying to ride out of the It's really just finding every rider's different. There's not just one gear and one tire pressure to rule them all.
Let's talk about some of the favorites headed into the night tonight. Riders coming from all over the world. Not only a national field here, but safe to call this a pretty strong international field as well. Some of the international riders that you're keeping your eye on. I know a lot of interviews around Alec Briggs at the UK. He was getting a lot of media attention earlier today, but any other international riders on your radar?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Actually, there's also Sam Harding, who comes from the UK. And him and Alec traveled the farthest for this race. Sam showed a really strong qualifying. He won to qualify as well as the third qualifying, and he's just showing he's hungry. He wants this. He doesn't want to go home empty-handed. He wants to show that he can do this, and this won't be his first time racing against Alec as well. So it's going to be really, really cool to see, you know, who can get out in front, who can stay out in front, who can keep their bike up. That's been something we've been seeing tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is a lot of crashes.
Names like Alec Briggs have some experience in the figure scene, but there are also some big names in this field with big experience in other disciplines of racing. Names like Chelsea Wolfe come to mind for me.
Absolutely, and Chelsea has been killing it. Chelsea actually won all of her qualifying races, so it's just going to show that, you know, anything's a given. There's also been some wild cards that have come out that we just did not expect. But it'll be really interesting to see how Chelsea is, because Chelsea is actually primarily a BMX rider. That is where her strengths lay. And so Chelsea on a bike that something she normally races or rides on, it's gonna just be so telling. And because she has that strength, I think that's going to as that technicality and how to turns.
What were some of your biggest takeaways early in on the first part of the racing earlier today? What did you learn? What did we learn? What were some of the biggest surprises that you saw in the qualifiers earlier today?
Yeah, definitely. Things are getting the most traction. Riders are not taking the right line, so they're causing these crashes. Really interesting to see some heavy hitters go down that you were not expecting to go down. The other is also seeing characters go and stay out in front and not get. For instance, we have from Brooklyn, New York, who is not only just a track star, as well as a math track star. They're also a professor, a mother. It's just really cool to see someone with such a diverse crashed out in their qualifying on the third one, but where they were able to back up and actually have so much strength.
Well, our final riders just making their way out onto the course as their last course check's underway right now. We'll have them out there shortly. What goes through your mind when you're kind of getting ready to prepare for a ride like this? I mean, what do you do in these situations? Because there's really a lot ahead of these riders. There's a lot waiting for them, but right now all they can do is try and focus and get locked in. So we're going to take a quick break here and wait for these riders, and then we'll catch up here in a bit. Riders lining up, which means we are just about ready to get going racing here in Burbank as our 8 riders in semifinal number 1 line up on the line here. Veronica, most important early on here, is it about the first lap? Is it about the middle? Is it about the last lap? How important is the start today?
Start is so important. You want to be the first to get out in front, because if you're not first, you could very well be last. And if you can't be first, at least try to get that wheel that's right in front of you so you can hold on and just do your damn best.
Riders will have a foot down start as well. At the beginning, everyone's got to have at least 1 foot on the ground. Earlier, we saw some riders trying to lean on that fence and get whatever advantage they could, but everyone does have to share this start. Looks like the Stoke is high down on the start line.
Stoke is high, the nerves are even higher.
So here's your lineup for our semifinal heat number 1 with some big favorites in this. You talked about Ivy Audrain having some good results earlier. Melissa Martucci had a very good start to her day as well. Well, really all these riders, I guess, to make it into the semifinals had a good afternoon.
Absolutely, especially Lee King. Lee has actually won all of their qualifiers. They are currently leading in their category. So I will not be surprised if Lee King will be out in front and break away from the pack, because that's been the common theme happening in the races. Another favorite that I'm really excited to watch is Ivy Audrain, just because they have that cyclocross experience, that championship. Ivy wins, she knows how to ride, but this is actually her first fixed gear crit. And so far, she's showing that she has not done this before, but she has.
Well, now she's made it into the semis, and again, first and second place from this one will advance to the finals. She's also going to have a shot as long as she can stay in 3rd or 4th, because they will have a second chance race again, and then first and second from that second chance race will get into the finals. So it's really just about getting first or second here. In these semis, it doesn't matter if you win your heat. There's really no reason to win. As long as you get first or second, you can make it on to the next one. And I think we saw riders like Lee King ride that way in the early qualifiers, just riding how they needed to so that they could advance to the finals.
Yeah, it's really going to be just about strength to keep it going, and just watching where your wheel goes. And what I mean by that is that your wheel goes where your eyes go. So if you're going to be looking in a corner you think you're going to crash in, you might very well crash. So you want to stay focused. You want to stay ready. You don't want to let your nerves get into you. And you also want to watch out who is around you, because someone can easily take you out without you realizing it. So you can see that people are getting really, really excited, moving their body, just wanting to, get their bikes going. Because the hardest part about riding a fixed gear bike is getting that momentum. Because once you start pedaling, you cannot stop.
Race director James Grady on the mic, getting ready to send these riders off. They'll look for the green flag. There it is. And we're underway in racing with our semifinal. Already riders skidding wheels into these corners.
And we got Lee King in the front, leading the pack, followed by Ivy Audrain. Oh gosh, yeah, these riders they're riding close.
Audrain kicking her rear wheel up. Meanwhile, King opening a gap on the front here. But remember, we're watching the last riders at the back of this race, because each lap, the last rider will be eliminated. They've got to get off the course until there are only 2 riders left into the last lap of racing. So this is really the battle that you're watching right now as Martucci and company continue to dominate on the front.
Absolutely. And the thing is, you want to just keep going. You don't want to have a rider take you out. Martucci's actually trying to go to the Olympics in Los Angeles. So they really have their eyes on the prize and working to see, how far can they take their track started.
See a lot of different lines through these corners. Some riders going wide, some riders staying tight. But we're seeing a lot of kicking up where riders are kind of trying to skid that rear wheel. What is the tactic there? I mean, what are they doing when we see them almost getting bucked up in some of these corners?
Yeah, totally. Really, they're just trying to slow down. And really, the only way to do that is, giving a little skid, kicking up the foot just a little bit, but not too much where you don't want to clip out. So yeah, when you're seeing riders doing a little skid bump. That's just them trying to slow down and take that turn without going out into the barriers, and also just maintaining that strength and that position. Because really, it's hard when you slow down and then you got to get back going again.
Seems like a lot of that happens early on in the start, and then they sort of start to work out a rhythm like we're seeing right now with this group of 4 on the front. They kind of fought for positions in the first, let's say, 3 or 4 corners, but now they seem to have come to an agreement up in this front group. I would think that they'd be happy to just chill in this group of 4, let the other riders behind them get eliminated, and then start racing against each other. But there's really no reason for them to battle at the front right now, because there's still riders to be eliminated behind them.
Yes. You also just don't want to take any chances, because when you take a chance, you can get out. But here we go. Guys, you can see the riders are just trying to slow down,
There's
take
a great
that
example
turn.
right there.
Yep.
Great example of that skid. Sorry, into that hairpin. You saw how they immediately spread out there. And when it works incredibly well. But when it doesn't, boy, does that go bad quick.
It really, really does. Because this is just about also patience. You want to keep going, not lose your eye on the prize, and just hope that no one's going to be behind you trying to pass you. This is going to be a really tight race. Here we go.
Back out to our 2 leaders.
Oh!
And
down
goes one.
That is Melissa Martucci. She is down for the count. You know, like we were saying before, that surface can get real slippery. Martucci's giving a wave though. They're doing good.
Now. Good news for Martucci. I think they were down to just 2 riders left on the course, so I'm pretty sure Martucci, despite crashing, will hold on for second here.
Hopefully, and now who we're seeing on screen is Amelia from New York City, racing for Weiss Racing. They have been really showing some good strength. A little drone footage right there. And as you can see, we also got a lot of folks in the house right now. We sold out of pre-sale tickets, so you can tell that folks want to see this kind of racing. They want to see, you know, what can these athletes do.
Really is a unique style of racing, and certainly visually appealing for the folks here in person. It's something that you really can't understand until you see it in person, until you see that speed and feel the wind coming off these riders. But one of the other really unique parts about this venue, an intimate setting to watch some fixed gear racing.
So intimate, such good lighting. You know, that's actually really what's great about fixed gear racing is the community element of it. Even folks that don't race, you just feel like you're part of a big happy family. I absolutely adore this community. It was really cool seeing old friends, making new friends, and just seeing just how excited people are to be here. You know, if they're not racing, they want to witness this.
Next heat lining up on the line, as it looks like we'll move over to our defined category. Up next, the riders hand it up for the fans here.
Yeah, in this semifinal, we actually do have Alec Briggs and Sam Harding from the UK. So it'll be really interesting to see which Brit can hold it. We also have wild card.
One of the odds-on favorites headed into this one, so he will certainly be one to watch. Point him out if you see him at the front of the line here. We'll try and get a good shot of Alec Briggs, I think in a purple jersey last time I saw him. Blue, purplish blue.
Yes, as we can see in the black helmet, that's Sam Harding. There's Alex in the colorful Techers kit that he actually designed. And actually out in front in the green is Alfredo Bueno, who's also just been killing it in his qualifying and taking first and just showing how he loves fixed gear racing.
All right, as these guys get ready to start, it sounds like Nico out on course has grabbed some folks that are finished racing. Do we have Nico with us ready to go? Nico.
Hey guys, this is Nico here. I'm here with Lee King. Lee King just came off a very spicy heat here in the qualifiers. Lee, last time I saw you was at the 2022 Red Bull Short Circuit where set on the top step of the podium. What's it going to take to get back up there tonight?
I think staying smooth, staying fast, clean racing. I think there's been a lot of crashes in our heats, and I think that if I can keep it smooth and fast and stay out of that, I think that's the key.
So what kind of gear ratio is it taking to stay smooth, to stay fast out here?
Teeny weeny.
Teeny weeny. All right, that's perfect. Back to you guys. Thanks, Lee.
I have a feeling you're going to hear a lot about those small gears throughout the day today. We talked about some of the changes that were being made as the day went on. A lot of riders dropping their gearing down because they want to be able to spin through those corners.
Yeah, absolutely. You also want to save that energy because if you're going to be running a gear that's too big, you're going to get tired quick just because it takes a lot of power and strength just to pedal out of these turns, especially the fact that there's multiple turns, one good straightaway. And yeah, it's going to just be really interesting to see like how these riders are going to fare out. Every second counts.
And here's our next start as semifinal number 1 underway. And early on, Alfredo Bueno going to move to the front. Bueno, another rider who's dominating as they go into the tight corner here. Some big crashes at the back. There's the pile up into the corner. And now they've got to recover. Another crash, trying to recover from that. A second pile up. It's chaos out there.
Oh gosh, see, and that's what I mean. Anything can happen in a split second. There they go. But as you can see, they can jump right back on and pedal again. They'll be feeling it tomorrow, though, that's for sure.
They are tripping over each other out there, trying to get back on the bike. It looks like a bunch of puppies on ice trying to get rolling, but that's why you ride at the front. They're back up and rolling through, but Bueno survived. Briggs has made it through with him, and they got one with them. We'll call it 3 at the front here, but there are some hot tempers on this course right now.
You got to be careful with those tempers because, you know, like I said, we're a big community here, and we want to be friends, but enemies can also easily be made.
Natural with any competition as we go back to the front of this race. These 3 going to be just fine. But again, it's really about what's happening behind them.
Yeah, this course right here, this is where a lot of crashes have been happening because if you don't get that line right, you're going to go down. But like we saw, once you go down, you just get back up again. Hopefully it's not too late. As you can see, we got some nice turns happening here. Alfredo and the green really doing a nice job just taking those turns good, keeping those pedals going. You know, once you get into the rhythm, I mean, it's really beautiful to watch. Here's our drone footage going. As you can see, those nice wide turns, then you want to bring it in and hug those corners. It's all about the racing line, really similar to Formula One, where, you know, you just want to make sure that you get out and you're able to take that next smoothly and quickly.
A couple of Brits together, Briggs and Harding up to the front. Meanwhile, this is Alfredo Bueno in the 8-volt low kit, green and yellow. That's Briggs getting a little gap on Harding here as Harding takes a foot out. But Bueno going to win this heat, it looks like. Alec Briggs going to fight his fellow countryman here for the elimination in second.
Oh, gosh. I hope they're not on the same plane ride home.
Down to 1 to go. Briggs moves to the front. Harding going to be in trouble here as Bueno continues to dominate. That's going to be it for Harding. And that means that Bueno and Briggs will advance to the finals.
Ooh.
did not see that come. Oh, no, I did see that one coming. So, yeah.
I would say those are two clear-cut favorites headed into this one as Alfredo Bueno hits the line first, but again, not really going to matter. He made it in qualifiers. There's Alex Briggs popping the wheelie as he makes his way across the line and into the finals.
And that is Alex's signature move with the wheelies. Something really interesting, actually, about Bueno is that they wanted to start racing fixed gear based on the Red Hook crits in Red Hook, New York, and they weren't able to because that race stopped in 2019. But they did race Mission Crit and got 6th, and they've just been really taking off now in road racing as well. And they wanted to show like that they can do this. They are hungry for it. They actually were a wild card for this race, with Alec being a top contender.
Well, sometimes that pressure can be less of an advantage than you would get from being the favorite going in tonight. Obviously, a lot of pressure on the shoulders of someone like Alec Briggs, whereas Alfredo Bueno, maybe less expectations for his day today, not having a ton of fixed gear experience, able to have a little bit more fun, a little bit more relaxed. It looks like it's paying off.
Definitely. Sometimes experience, you could have all the experience in the world and not come in first. And that's okay. It's really all about how the rider can handle this course, how they can handle these turns, and this also the surface, because the surface is not something common that you can just go out in the street and ride. So some people's strengths are other people's weaknesses.
So many wild cards in this race. It could be a tight corner. It could be flat. There are so many different things that happen. Sounds like Nico's got Alfredo down on course right now, so let's go down to Nico de Photographer Pro.
All right, I'm here with Alfredo Bueno. Alfredo, you've been crushing it all night tonight. You've been taking the top spot in all your heats. Somehow you're still looking fresh. What have you been doing to get prepped for this race tonight?
I just came off from like a 3-week off season, like, I rode like a bit with like Frank Martucci, we would just show up to like a car parking, like send it, but I'm not feeling quite as good as we were in the parking lot, so yeah, I am tonight, but I guess it's enough to get where I am right now.
Well, you got us fooled. You're looking smooth out there. Good luck in the next round, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Never ducking. Evola duck, no fades.
All right, thanks, Alfredo. That's our guy. Back to you guys.
It's amazing what a ride with Frank Martucci can do for you, as Alfredo Bueno obviously coming into this one on good form. He's going to be a big name to watch into the finals. I think the way that he was able to dominate these qualifiers here tells me that he's got to be on the top of the list.
Absolutely, and you can hear it in his voice what he said. Like he's like, yeah, I haven't really been riding or training, and sometimes like this can just come naturally. Especially with muscle memory. Your muscles do not forget how to ride.
All right, into our next wave of qualifying here. Again, this will be our second open qualifying here as these riders make their way to the line. Any big names on this list that you're looking at?
Yeah, Danny Mooreshead, they are just a tank. They have so much power, so much strength. As well as Jordan Ellison, who is a local here in LA. They actually took a tumble during qualifier, but then just in their third one, they were able to just show that, no, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to go and do the damn thing. So yeah, I put my money on Danny and probably Jordan here, but anything can happen because, if you crash at any point, that could be the end of your race.
Mooreshead, another one of those riders that spent some time with Pratt Racing. We were talking about them earlier. A strong fixed gear squad. So we'll keep an eye on Danny Mooreshead lining up here in heat number 2 of our category as the mastermind. How important is starting position in this line? I mean, is there a favored spot to start from? Do you want to be left to right? Very similar, I guess, to F1 with a grid-style start. Is there a better place to start?
Totally. I mean, the only difference here is that everyone's in a straight line, and it really depends. Like if you're on, let's say, the right edge, you might have a way to get that corner that's coming up. Maybe you want to be in the middle, but then let's say you also get boxed in so that you can't make your way to the front. So it's really kind of like rider preference. personally for me, I think I would want to be in that middle just because, you have more room to decide, okay, why do I want to take this turn? How far do I want to go? Because, if you're on the sidelines, and a rider can easily just go in front of you and cut you out and use that position. I definitely don't want to be in the back. That's for sure. But these riders, they're ready to go. As you can see, Moore's head 102, waiting to go.
The white there, number 102 on her back, underway.
There they go. Got this tricky corner. Let's see if they can do this cleanly. And we got Jordan Ellison in third there, trying to get that wheel. It's a fast race. Danny is still leading the charge out in the front. Followed by Karen Walker from New York City, who also has been a wild card in this race. They also won their race. They're just there here to win. They will ride, and yeah, they're gonna win this. They're gonna win this good. It's good spicy final later on, ladies and gentlemen.
Moore's head got a little company up front with her. There's a great shot from the drone. You can see just how tight a lot of these corners are. Veronica, I think you got to be happy with a ride like this behind Danny Moore's-head. You can worry about how to beat her in the final, but right now, I would just be following this wheel.
Absolutely. I mean, really, you want to get even a little bit closer because Karen's going to have to work just a little bit harder to get that wheel, but you don't want to go too hard where you're going to hit the back of that wheel and possibly take yourself or Danny out. But, I mean, Danny has such a good timing ahead of her. I mean, she's really trying to just get away from Karen. But Karen has proved that, they're not going to back down that easy, and Karen really wants to get that wheel. But Danny, it looks like she's slowly, ever so slowly, just inching away.
So a quick check over the shoulder from Moore's-head. She's using these corners to her advantage. Anytime she's got a tight corner, she looks over that shoulder, just trying to get a better idea of the gap behind.
Yeah, because once you know the gap that you have, you can kind of take things a little bit more cautiously, but not too cautiously because you don't want to slow down. You definitely want to know where your competition, if someone is right behind you, you're going to have to pedal as fast as you can to get them off of your wheel. But yeah, Danny looks like she has a good lead. Actually, Danny started on a different bike and was not happy with the result that she had. So then she's like, you know what? I'm going to get my track bike out and let's see how it feels. And it obviously feels and looks real good.
She was riding a borrowed bike that I think she thought was going to give her an advantage with wider tires, a little more traction, a little more grip, but there's just something about the speed of the track bike and maybe the comfort of a bike that you come to riding. So Moore's-head swapping bikes and now on her track bike.
Yes, she actually complained that the bike before felt like she was going to fall over and tip over, and that's the last thing that you want in this. But yeah, Danny has a great lead. And then we got Karen just trying to stay there and hopefully not have Jordan catch her. As you can see, there's such a good gap in between this. And Danny is taking the win for this one.
Danny and Karen going to advance into our finals in heat number 2. So that's 4 of the 8 riders sorted going on to the final round. We'll have one more semifinal, then we'll go back to our second chance round where riders that make it in 3rd and 4th of these heats will meet, and 1 and 2 will advance from that one to create our 7th and 8th riders in the finals.
Yeah, something I like to compare is fixed gear racing in Formula One. Actually, I got into Formula One because it reminded me so much of fixed gear, which would be like, what? Those are cars and these are bikes. Yeah, but you know, you have to think about the format and just the element of like having teams and the courses as well. Just something about that speed, because when you ride a fixed gear bike, it's really liberating and freeing about it compared to just a regular bike. As I was mentioned before, you keep those pedals going. You cannot stop. And if you stop, you do a little foot retention. But when you're out there racing, you're on a whole other level. Just with the wind, the air, like you kind of just sort of forget about around you and just, you know, focus on, wow, I'm doing this. I'm going to try to get in front and hopefully no one's going to crash me out, because I will not be surprised if we do get more crashes, especially right here at this turn and the tricky one.
All right, let's go down to Nico. He's got Danny Moorehead right now.
All right, I'm here with Danny Moorehead, fresh off a very, very spicy semifinal heat. Danny, early on in that race, it seemed like Karen was pretty hot on your tail. Looks like you managed to dig a little deep and open up a gap on that. Tell me about that heat.
Well, Karen crushed me in the qualifiers earlier today as our first go, and I did a bike swap afterwards. I'm probably the only person today who's going to have to do a bike swap because I need to go back to my track bike, my trusty true short wheelbase, skinny tires. But yeah, Karen was right on me. I knew she was going to be the one to look out for because she just destroyed me so bad in the qualifier.
You think you're going to have to change anything up before the final?
We're good now, not changing a single thing. Maybe my shirt again, but I don't know if that can beat this shirt. This cool nice shirt.
I don't know, that shirt might be hard to beat. That shirt might be good. Thanks a lot, Danny. We'll see you out there.
Well, if it ain't broke, fix it. No changes for Danny Norris headed into her final after a very successful semifinal qualifier. So she now gets a little bit of rest, and her final coming up here in about half an hour, 45 minutes from now. Is that an element of fatigue, Veronica? I mean, on a day like today, you would have started racing around 2, maybe 3 o'clock this afternoon. Do they have to worry about getting tired at the end of the day after 4 heats of racing?
I mean, it really depends how much you're giving, but yeah, you definitely get tired. I mean, if you're not getting tired physically, you're getting tired mentally. There's a lot of pressure, especially if you were, rid of this like Danny. I think there was a lot of pressure to see like, hey, are you gonna take this? Are you gonna win this? But then once you do it, you want to do it again. That's kind of what's really fascinating and amazing about the sport is that, yeah, you get tired, but man, you just also want to stay out there and do the damn thing. So it'll be really cool to see how Danny will the next one.
Into our next heat, I see some more very familiar names on this list, including Frank Martucci at the very top here. Jeremy Santucci at the bottom, though, another big name to watch here. Jack Banizet going to have some good results here. There are some big names in this field. This is an important semifinal heat right now because there's going to be an eliminated from this.
Yeah, no, these riders here, I mean, someone you really need to also look out for is Ian Martin. He is riding, he has just showed that he is not an experienced fixed gear rider, but he definitely makes it look easy and look, he also did incredibly well in his qualifying, and he just wants to run, but who do we got behind him? We got Martucci. And we got Martucci following me so closely. Martucci is actually a seasoned fixed gear rider. He's had the most Red Hook starts, 24 to be exact. He is no stranger to fixie racing. He's also podium in the top 3. This guy has a really great pedigree. He's also married to Melissa Martucci. All right, we got Ian holding it. Ian has been really slowing down by skidding. You can see there, because he's going real fast. But then, I believe Martucci just went in front of, oh no, that's not Martucci. Oh, who do we have in front of him? All right, Martucci's trying to pass. Oh, there we go. Yep. Yes, code 2 is Martucci.
Martucci going to be in a little bit of trouble right now, though. He's got to move. He's got one lap to make a pass. He tries to do it on the inside here. And he's going to get there.
Oh, man.
So now Martucci up to second place. He's safe. But now he's got to worry about what's on his back door. Battling again into the next corner.
Woo. Oh, gosh.
Into the hairpin, and down they go. Leader pavement sample.
Yeah, you love to see it, but also hate that it happens. Like I said, anything can happen in races. You don't take that right line. If you don't realize there's someone next to you, you're going to go down. But yeah, Martucci is happy right now. They are pedaling their heart out. Oh. Nice ride from Martucci. And oh. Down they go. We got Here we go. Taking a nice turn. And Martucci for the win. He is so happy. He wants this. So
a little love from the crowd, and he gets it. Certainly a favorite in this group, no question about it.
Absolutely. Crowd is loving it. Doing wheelies like it's nothing. That's actually been a very classic move from some riders, is just finishing it off with the wheelie where you pop the front wheel up and then you go, baby.
Is it easier to do a wheelie on a fixed gear bike? Does it make it any easier not having the coasting?
I like to say it also depends on the rider. Definitely, well, I don't know, because I can't do it. But you definitely could do it on like BMX. You really could do it on any bike, but I would say it's probably a little bit easier on a fixed gear, just because you don't have to worry about that back pedaling. Also, fixed gear bikes are so light, which is really good.
All right, sounds like Nico has our next team winner down on the line. Nico.
All right, I'm here with Frank Martucci. Frank, that might have been the most intense heat we've seen yet tonight. Now, Frank is a legend of the fixed gear racing world. More starts in Red Hook Crit than anyone. I think 24 starts. However, this bike you're riding tonight looks radically different from anything we've seen you ride on Red Hook. Tell me a little bit about this bike and why you built it up for this race.
First of all, you're a legend of fixed gear, first of all. Well, yeah, like this time, I don't even think out of the box. I really lost the box. So instead of fixing like a road bike, I decided to fix a dirt jumper. So as you see, a frame is a canyon stitch dirt jumper, but instead of fixed gear. So I'm completely in the rules, but I have a really fun bike that is really fast, but also is super fun. I can take different line. One normally you only stuck to one line, and this is because I have a wider tire. And yeah, like I'm sure like this bike is going to change completely the dynamics of bicycle that we used to do this kind of races. So I'm really happy to be the first to do something new and you know, evolve this sport. That's really important for me.
That's amazing to hear. I mean, you've been here throughout all the evolution of fixed gear racing, so we're really excited to see what you do on this side. Thanks a lot for talking to us.
Oh, thank you. I can't wait for final. Don't miss the final. It'll be super fun.
You're here to hear. Thanks a lot. We'll catch you back at the studio.
Martucci is a unique machine. We're going to have to get a look at that bike here as we get ready for our next wave of our semifinal here in the Expansive field. Although these are some familiar names, so What we're looking at is our final riders that are going to make it to advance. So Martucci and Banaszak will go forward. Martinez and Martin will race again. And Santucci, Lara, Zamudio, and Hildreth are out.
All right, in the yellow,
Right, so now back
we have
to
Brittany
our
O'Neill.
defined category.
All right, we got Brittany O'Neill in the yellow. In the front, Brittany has had a really strong showing. Brittany is also a track master team pursuit winner. They actually made the record for that in New York. They also have raced, won all of their East Coast fixed crit so far this year. So you know that Brittany knows how to handle that bike. We also got Chelsea Wolf in here, who is leading in the front.
It's going to be Wolf in the orange dark jersey, getting off to an early start here on the front, and then Martucci, over the top as they make their way into the corner.
Oh gosh, yeah, that was Chelsea Wolf that went down, but getting right back up again. And there's Brittany in the front, taking the lead. Followed by Aria from Fresno, trying to get Brittany's wheel, but Brittany's just too fast. I don't think anyone will be able to catch her wheel.
Especially with Wolf out of this one, going down at early crash, getting tangled up in what seems to be a very crash-prone spot of this course. It is basically a hairpin turn directly in front of our commentary position. I would call that turn 3 on this course, I guess. After you go onto the arch, there's a right-hand turn, one more right, and then a hairpin in turn. It's like, has been the course for a lot of riders.
Yeah, actually, Brittany crashed in that same spot. I know she's not trying to make that same mistake again, and she's showing that she's got this. She's going home with this.
Again, this is just about advancing to the final, so it's a race for second that we're watching as they go into battle mode now amongst those three, fighting for their survival.
Yeah, and we got these three just trying to stay together so someone can make a move and attack. And here we go. It's going to get a little spicy, especially at this corner. We still got Brittany in the front.
Brittany can relax and celebrate. These are the riders that have work to do. Someone's going to get eliminated this time through the line in that group of three.
You're right, Brittany can relax. I mean, they probably have a 6-second gap. I hate that being aggressive, but they definitely got to have a gap ahead of them. And then we got Alicia Lopez just trying to stay in there, get past. As you can see, you know, they were bunched up and now they're just trying to just escape each other's grasp. But Aria in the pink jersey, she wants it. She wants to just hang on for dear life. Everything can change so quickly in these races.
So now down to just 2 left in that chase group with 3 riders remaining on course. Leader is spoken for right here. Here's 2 and 3. Veronica, when we talk about the importance of moving up here and these riders that need to make passes, as we take a lap around this course, where is the last place to pass before you get to the line? If you're on one of these elimination laps, you find yourself in one of the bottom spots, can you do it before the last U-turn? Like, where's the last good spot on this course to pass each rider?
I would say that it would be the last turn before the straightaway to the finish line, because that is where your opponent can make one wrong move, either taking that line too tight or that turn too wide. you would hope that, you know, you could benefit from another rider's mistake. But yeah, that last turn is really your last chance to just try to get ahead and pass. And yeah, Brittany is relieved they were able to take that home. Brittany made that look easy. Yeah, James Grady with the flag.
Stayed with the leaders. We'll see if we get updated results on what happened in that elimination. In the race for second.
Oh, I love to see this. So these two, they're giving each other high fives, telling each other that, hey, great job, because, you know, you definitely make friends out there, especially just working together. You've been through something, you know, sometimes rather traumatic and really hard, and so it feels good to be like, hey, great job. We just fucking did that.
It's amazing to be able to
real.
switch, flip that switch, I guess, after a competitive result, and then moving into the post race. So you see O'Neill and Lopez going to advance. Aria X and Adric Gonzalez meet again in the redemption round to try to ride their way into the final. Unfortunately for the bottom four, that'll be it, including one of the big pre-race favorites, the Olympian Chelsea Wolfe, who went down in that early crash in lap number 1. That ended up costing her the heat.
Sad to see it. Chelsea was doing so good and showed so much potential, but anything can happen in these races. One crash and that's it. And then Alicia Lopez is coming from Anaheim, California. So a local riding for Independent. Really cool to see them also doing very well in their previous races and hold it on. Because if I was in this race with, you know, Chelsea Wolfe and Brittany O'Neill, I would be a little nervous and afraid and probably not finish unless they crashed.
Well, there's only one great equalizer in fixed gear racing, and that's the results. It really doesn't matter where you came from before you got here. It matters how well you can race fixed gears on a course like this against competitors like this. And we've certainly seen some very strong riders, some great bike racers that didn't have good results for Formula Fix. They just cut them out this style of racing. So lesson learned. I have a feeling Chelsea Wolfe going to be back for more, as she's been looking very strong. All right,
Absolutely.
on to our next, into our expansive semifinal here. Any big names on this list for you?
Yeah, I would actually say Kel McKenzie. He has just showed how easy this is. He is a track lacrosse champion, a cyclocross champion. Kel is no stranger to single speed, fixed gear. He just knows how to ride a bike, and I will not be surprised if he actually stays out in front. Another person to look at is Wyatt Funk, who is one of our also top contenders for this race, also a bike mechanic. So you know that they know how to work on a bike. Justin Polson is also someone to look out for, just because they can be a little sneaky and just like know how to take a line and get right in there. So it'll be really interesting to see just how these riders do and if they can stay up. Earlier, Kel did crash in his qualifier, but still was able to win it just by getting up. That is something common in cyclocross racing, where you gotta go, you gotta jump off your bike, carry your bike, and then if you fall, you get right back up. And like I said, that adrenaline is kind of like Popeye spinach. You know, it could just help drive you to keep going and maybe even going just a little bit faster. So number 3 in the green, there's Kel McKenzie, looking ready to go. Number 29, we have Quinn Kennedy, who also is hungry for this. Quinn also had a crash in their previous race, and they just show they're not going to let that get in their way. Sometimes, you know, nerves can get the best of you, but you fall back down, you got to get back up again.
All right, countdown is on for the start.
Justin Polson, number 37.
See the locked eyes, look forward, watching that flag.
In the black jersey, we got Wyatt Funk. You can see he's debating, all right, which line am I going to take? What's it going to be? Great start from Kel. Kel right out in the front, just like I thought. Kel's really good at taking these turns. He just knows which line to go on. But we got Funk right behind him, trying to stay on that wheel. Oh, and Funk and Kel are getting real close.
This is not the time again to be fighting on the front. If you've made it into this early selection, I think the best play here is just relax a little bit. And they're getting into that rhythm now at 1 and 2 here. Do you strike a deal in this scenario, Veronica? I mean, when these two riders look at each other and say, hey, we're good enough to make it through to the finals. Let's just chill here, ride 1 and 2, and then we'll meet again in the final round.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't even realize how far ahead they are, especially when you're aware that there's another rider next to you. All you can think about is, okay, this person's right next to me. I just got to make sure that I can keep my chill and just keep going. But I know that at some point they will realize, oh, okay, we're ahead, we're good. But it really looks like that Funk wants to get ahead of Kel and does not want to back down. Also, Kel is mashing. Kel is trying to also just keep going. Oh, here he goes. Yeah, Funk just trying to pass Kel, but Kel is such a good defender.
Making a big move on the outside, certainly not for a lack of trying. Funk gonna try and go again into that corner. See Funk taking some big risks here. There he goes. It pays off right there. He got exactly what he deserved. You want to gamble, you got to be ready to lose. And he was willing to risk big, and unfortunately, that time it means losing big.
Yep, if you get too close to that wheel, you can just psych yourself out. Then you try to slow down, and then next thing you know, you take a tumble. But Funk was really hungry for that. And so, following Funk. Oh wow, no, Funk is still in. Wow,
He's
so they actually had such a gap.
In second position.
Yeah. So that's the advantage of actually being up ahead in the front, is having that gap and not having another rider catch up to you. So really, you know, you were saying earlier, like, oh, what if they chill? And, you know, because they know that they're 1 and 2, and it's like, no. You want to build that lead. So if anything does happen, you can recover quickly without worrying about someone getting past you. So yeah, Funk is going.
I would argue, though,
Kel has a gap.
It wouldn't have happened if they weren't racing against each other. They could have just chilled, and they'd be 1 and 2 right now. But there are no deals to be made in this scenario. Now Kel back to the front here, still getting out of the saddle. Even though he's got this one with a nice gap on the front, you see he still puts in just a second or two wherever he can get it.
Oh, and also, Brad, there's no chilling in fixed gear. Like I said, when you're pedaling, those pedals do not stop. Your legs don't stop. You tell them to shut up because you got to keep going. So with fixie racing, you just have to keep pedaling as fast as you can. Because if you chill, you might chill too hard. But then if you pedal too fast, you can go down. But yeah, Wyatt Funk taking the second despite having that crash. And Kel, it'll be really great to see how Kel goes up with the big dogs. Kel has such a lot of experience in just technical racing.
I think that might be my ride of the day for Funk right there. Getting up, holding on to second, advancing to the finals. It says, put me back in for more. A fist bump to the heat winner there, and they will meet again in about 30 minutes from now. Final heat.
Yeah, it's really awesome seeing that, you know, even though these two were going against each other, that it's all love at the end of the race. And that there's no hard feelings for going down. And we got Devin Armstrong going into the redemption. And by CF going into the redemption. Unfortunately, Kennedy's out. Paulson's out. Salucci and Powell are out.
All right, and as they wrap heat, sounds like Nico has Kel McKenzie down on course. Let's go down to Nico.
Kel McKenzie of Squid Brandis. Kel, you're one of the best right-handers out here. You got Palmares in cyclocross, track lacrosse. I saw Wyatt coming around in a pretty tight turnaround here, and he put him to the boards there. Tell me, that was a pretty close race. What was going on?
I mean, Wyatt is a great racer. He attacked the way you would want to, and like a gentleman, you know, like racing's not about hacking fools. It's about being fast, racing good, finding the holes, or shutting them down. And sometimes, you know, you just gotta make yourself, you gotta let yourself be big. Like I like to lead with softness, but like this is a job. That's fierce. You gotta be fierce in this kind of racing. I just want to bring that to the table. That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, it is a job, and you did a great job, and you were very fierce out there.
Thank you. They need more airflow.
Well, we look forward to seeing you in the finals. Nice
Thank
work
you
out
so
there.
much. Appreciate it. Right on, everyone.
Kel McKenzie.
Kel McKenzie absolutely ruining my hopes of those guys chilling out there. It doesn't look like he doesn't have chill on his radar. So that also makes him a great biker.
Yeah, no, he does not. It's chill or be chilled. Now we're going to be having the defined field going up with Melissa Martucci. Getting the racers all lined ready to go.
Go back to some of our earlier heats today in the semifinals. We saw Alfredo Bueno riding to an early domination, but this was the almost comedic crash from earlier where riders were tripping over themselves trying to get back on. The crowd was well entertained in our early semifinals.
Entertaining it was, and then there's Danny Morrishead just making it look easy, telling Karen, hey, it's all love. Didn't grab my wheel though. All right, we got the next semifinal starting soon.
And then, of course, we saw the attempted skid turns that didn't turn out so well for a few riders out there. Back out the live images in our next qualifier now.
That's a good competition. We got Ivy on Crane in the back. And out in the front, we got Jordan Ellison, Los Angeles hometown hero right here. No stranger to fixed gear racing. Jordan at first wasn't sure if she wanted to do this race, and then she's like, no, now I want to win it. Now I want to do this and make it to the end.
Ellison with a very unique riding style, gets very low on that front end. You see how low her hands are, super arrow up here on the front. So Ellison off to a good start, but now gonna have some company on the back door. This one, all of a sudden, a little tighter up at the front.
Yeah, we got Melissa Martucci just trying to catch Jordan's wheel and see, can she hold on and possibly even pass her. Yeah, Melissa really has great bike handling skills and takes really, really nice lines, but Jordan's also really aggressive and just does not want Melissa to catch her at all.
Ellison floating through these corners. Martucci just behind in that black jersey. It doesn't look like Martucci's got a lot to worry about on the 6 o'clock right now. It's maybe 5 or 6 bike lengths back to third position. It'll be a good look right here. There's Martucci off to the left side, and then third place just coming into view.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see if they can even catch Martucci. Just because, that's such a big gap. Unless something happens like we've seen before. If Martucci slips, that third person grab that real quick. But Martucci is showing that, no, I got this. I can hold my bike up. She's trying to follow Jordan's lines right now. Just, taking that turn wide while also hugging that corner. Beautifully done. Jordan is running away with it in the jorts. And Martucci in second.
So I think Ellison and Martucci going to advance from this redemption round. And that should, I think, round out our 8 for the final. As Ellison and Martucci advance from this one. There's Jordan Ellison right there celebrating with Melissa Martucci just behind her. So the other 4 going to wrap up their night. And that means that we are one step closer to having a winner here at Formula Fixed.
Yeah, the night is only going to get spicier. Fun fact about Jordan is they went to school to study birds. And so Jordan has spent a lot of nights with owls and is also just known as the bird nerd. It's really great. You can like birds and race bikes too.
Very interesting. Let's go down and grab a word with Jordan Ellison. Nico has them right now.
That's right, LA.
All right, I am here with Jordan Ellison, fresh off the redemption round. This was truly a redemption round. Tell me about what got you here.
Yeah, I just was trying to get a start earlier in the day. I had a ball to finish the race, but after that, I came back, won the next round of heats, and yeah, we didn't make it in the semis, but we got this one, baby, so we're going to the finals.
You are indeed going to the finals. That was truly a redemption round. Nice work, Jordan.
Thank you.
Good work out there. We'll see you in the finals.
Hell yeah.
That's Jordan Ellison. Back to you guys.
No one remembers how your semifinal went. No one remembers how your qualifier went. All that matters, you made it into the finals.
Yes, it does. And it's going to be really interesting to see who's going to take this win in the redemption grid. Familiar name you see now is Sam Harding from the UK. You know, they're going to be hungry. They don't want to go home empty-handed. They don't want to, you know, fly all this way out here for nothing. I also got my eye on Dylan Buffington from San Francisco, California. Dylan is also just, you know, known to be what we like to call fixie famous. And he's just such a great, strong rider, racing for Past Normal Studios. And in this one, we actually have 4 racers up on here. So this will be a smaller grid, which actually might either be a blessing or a curse. If you have not a lot of people, it might be harder to grab that wheel. And of course, if you have too many people, it'll be too many cooks in the kitchen. You can see the crowd.
Sam Harding, we saw a very good ride from him earlier, riding with Alec Briggs in that group, but going down in a crash, and that was the end of the qualifier heat. So we'll see if he can get it right this time as the crowd waits to greet their next wave of riders onto the course.
Yeah, and we also got Ian Martin in there, who is racing for Team MASH in San Francisco. Ian's only 22 years old and has a lot of potential. As we like to call him, he's a young fixie from Portland, Oregon, and recently living in San Francisco. And here we go. Out in the front, we got Sam Harding, no surprise there, just trying to go. Dylan Buffington right behind him, trying to catch that wheel, taking that turn nicely.
Harding learns the lesson from his earlier qualifier. Looking pretty smooth up on the front. Widening the gap into the hairpin. This is where he had the problem earlier.
Yes, he did. But as you can see, he is breaking away. He is trying to build that lead. So if anything happens, he has time to recover. But I don't even think he needs that. There's Dylan Buffington in the front, just trying to see if he can shake those 2 right behind him away. Sam Harding is just looking so strong, taking those nice wide turns and hugging those corners.
Buffington absolutely ripping it behind him around these corners. Looking like he has a command on that machine underneath him. I don't know if Harding is going to get any company here, but certainly a great race unfolding for second and third right now. Remember, 1 and 2 will advance to the finals here as we go back up to Sam Harding out of Southam in the United Kingdom.
Oh, we got Buffington passed by another rider in the front there. Devin Armstrong actually there in second from Oakland, California. Devin actually got top 5 in Monster Track New York. Also not a stranger to fixed gear riding and has raced in Mission Crit and Wolfpack Hustle, as well as Red Hook. I mean, with a resume like that, you know you got the strength to get up there and pass. And Sam is taking this.
This should
he
be.
is relieved.
Feels good to get that redemption right out of the ashes of a failed qualifying campaign. And Sam Harding going to advance into the finals here after surviving the redemption round at the front. So Harding going to link up with Alec Briggs, winner of his heat earlier. But Briggs going to be happy to have Harding in that race. I'm sure he'll be pumped to see him make it into the finals here.
Totally. The Brits are going to take over America. And Devin Armstrong really just surprising everyone and getting Buffington right at the end when Buffington was not expecting it.
Yeah.
It was a good run for him.
Buffington led second spot for a majority of the race, and then just on that last lap was caught and passed by Devin Ung to knock him down to third. So Harding and Armstrong will advance into the finals. Sam Harding wins. All right, let's go back down to Nico. Sounds like he's got more interviews.
All right, I'm here with Alec Briggs. Alec, you've been making waves in the cycling scene for years. Creativity and rad racing from Techers. You've been racing fixed gear crits pretty much since the inception. 3-time last man standing champion. You've been crushing it out here today. Looking at the field, looking at who you're facing up out here, what's it going to take that win today?
If you've been watching it, it's going to take a lot. I've just been struggling today a little bit. I just find it really hard to get traction. Every time I tip it in, I'm sliding. So I made a few changes before the final, and now I've got to try and chase those fast boys down. I'm coming from row 2, so I've got it all to do, and it's going to be a do or die race, and it's going to be smooth fireworks.
I think you're going to have to put in some work, but I think you got what it takes. One thing that everybody's dying to know out here, what's your ratio?
I've just changed it again, the 4th time today, maybe the 5th time, and now I'm on a 46-20.
46-20, all right, so it's
Spinny,
win.
it's real spinny. Well, I was racing Alfredo in that last one, and he was just, I could tell he was spinning more. I was like, he got a good start, and I'm going to have to make a monster start from row 2 and just like send it on the inside and hope nothing crashes, and I had to put a small gear on. So we'll find out, it might work, it might not, but we're going to go for it, you know? What we do.
That's all you can do, right?
Yeah,
you gotta go for it.
It's win or die, man. It's win or die.
I dig that. Win or die, you heard it from Alec. Thanks, man. We'll see you in the finals.
Peace.
Briggs continuing to learn and adjust out there as well, talking about struggling to get grip, talking about changing the gearing. So the job is never done, is it?
No, it is not. And it's always changing. Sometimes you think you're confident that you're going to go with this gear, or you're going to go with this tire pressure, and then sometimes you're like, no, actually, I'm going to try something different. And that is also taking a chance, because sometimes if you try something new, it could work against you. But now we're going to have our defined field coming out.
This will be it for our finals. And now into winning races here. Is there more pressure in the final, or at this point is it just another heat in the process for you? You've done this. This will now be the 4th race for most of these riders. Does it ever get easier to line up on that line?
Oh, never. The nerves are always going to be really, really hard. But there's always going to be excitement. What's really interesting about all these racers here is that you have like New York versus California, East Coast versus West Coast, with Lee King representing Albany, California, with Danny in Annapolis, California, as well as Brittany and Emilio. Though they're in New York. They're trying to show that hey, we know how to do this. We can do this better than y'all. So it'll be really interesting to see. I don't even know who I could put my money on here, just because these are such strong racers.
That is the beauty of the final. It is really anyone's race. In will be 8 riders taking the line: King, Mooreshead, O'Neill, Aya, Walker, Lopez, Ellison, and Martucci, who have all had good rides today. But now we're going to figure out who's got the best ride into our final round here.
Yeah, and as we saw in the previous race, Lee King likes to stay up front and just get away from everybody, but they have that in common with Danny as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if those two actually shoot out first. But also Jordan Ellison has showed that, they are hungry. They can get out front just as much as anyone else can. So I really think that the starting position for everyone here will be very crucial. As you can see, Brittany in the yellow is out in front. We got Danny in the white out in front. They're actually in a really, really good place right here. One of them can easily get on the other's wheel and just try to run away from the rest of the group here. And then number 101 is Martucci, and next to Martucci, 103 is Jordan Ellison. They are just waiting and just getting prepped and mentally ready, because this is probably the most stressful part of the race, just waiting for that start, because anything can happen. You might have an idea where, hey, I'm going to go in between these two and take that turn, but if somebody goes in a little too close or a little too far, you got to be quick on your feet and just think of, another exit strategy. It's all about strategy when it comes to mixed gear racing.
And now inside 30 seconds to race start here as our final round. Getting ready to crown who's going to stand on the top step of the Formula Fix podium. The countdown is on.
The final countdown.
Into it. Riders are go. The DJ starting to crank up the music here in California as we get underway. Let's go racing and crown a Formula Fix champ.
Woo! We got Lee King in the front, followed by Danny Mooreshead. Ooh, and Brittany O'Neill. I called it. Those three are looking real, real strong and real good going around that turn.
Remember, this one is all in. Winner take all here. King off to a good start. Mooreshead into second. O'Neill to third, and then green and yellow. King's got a nice lead headed into lap number 1 here. And now O'Neill trying to move up on Mooreshead.
Oh yeah, Lee King is just running away. Danny's trying to catch that wheel. O'Neill also doesn't realize that there's 2 riders right behind her that can easily get her. You can't slow down here, folks. And there is Karen Walker from New York also trying to get past O'Neill. Wait, no. So number 115 is Amelia, who is O'Neill's teammate for Weiss Factory Racing, trying to see if they can move up. Lee King also just
O'Neill
running away.
Going to be in the green and yellow up the front of the group. That's O'Neill right there. Battling in this group that we're watching on screen, along with Jordan Ellison right behind the back of that group.
Yeah, Lee King is just wanting to build up that gap, but Danny is trying to catch that wheel so hard, just sprinting. I mean, I can only imagine what's going through Danny's mind right now, because all you want to do is just get that wheel. There's kind of like a psychology behind it that when you stare at that back wheel, it feels like you're moving up there much quicker, because you have that focus. And there's Brittany going around the corner with Karen, followed by Ellison. So Ellison's also by herself, which can get a little tiring. It is really nice to have someone to work with in this case scenario. Lee King is still going. Oh, and then Brittany is currently pulling Karen right now. Here we got Brittany going. Karen's actually in a good position because, you know, while Brittany's doing all the work, Karen can easily just go around her and be like, all right, bye. So she's trying to do it, but Brittany's not letting it go that easy.
See the look over the shoulder for Brittany there waiting. She knows it's coming. She knows the tactics. She knows exactly what she's going to try and do behind her, but it's a question of when, not if.
Absolutely. Your spidey senses definitely tingle because you can hear that someone's right there, and you know your first instinct is to run. But Karen is just not letting go of Brittany's wheel at all. She really wants to get ahead of her. Karen also just being such a strong racer from New York. And we've got these two New York ladies really just trying to get up there. But Danny's also pretty far up.
Walker running out of time to make the pass on O'Neal here. That's Walker in the black, O'Neal in the green and yellow here. Been watching Walker trying to find a way around, but just has not found that line yet, and running out of time here very quick.
Yeah, it's really crucial to know when you want to make that next move, especially the location. Because you don't want to do it in a spot where, you know, it might be too tight, and then you don't want to do it in a spot where, you know, you can't make that decision. Because one wrong move and you'll go down. And Brittany is looking like she is pulling away from Walker, despite doing a lot of work up there. Brittany is no stranger to working hard on her bike. I mean, she has won championships. She is the queen of the track.
Meanwhile, Mooreshead on her way to the front of this bike race. About to have a look at the back there. Just saw that white jersey, just barely came into view here. There's Mooreshead right there. There's a great view of what Mooreshead has ahead of her, trying to close down this gap.
Yeah, there's a chance that Morrison could try to do an attack at this turn and grab King's wheel, but King's not letting that happen.
King going to start this lap with a nice gap as Danny Mooreshead going the wrong way in the gap here. Lee King going to redouble the efforts, open that up, but here comes Mooreshead again. Just will not give up the fight out there.
No, absolutely not. You can tell we sensed and saw that Danny was right there, and he was like, nope, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take this win. But you know, Danny wants it too.
Mooreshead still in contention here. This one is not over yet for Lee King because Danny Mooreshead breathing down their neck. Going to have a couple more shots out of here. Still 4 riders on course, but these 2 will get eliminated at the back. That's going to be 3rd and 4th place overall here at Formula Fixed. It looks like that's going to go to O'Neal. 3rd now, but this is Mooreshead following now, trying to catch Lee King right here in the black and pink.
Yeah, Morrison's definitely getting some distance on King. Definitely getting a lot closer than before. And all it could take is, you know, King to just make one wrong move, but King is showing me, no, I'm not going to make any wrong moves. I know this track. I can do this. King is just trying to ride away and get Danny out.
So O'Neal will be eliminated, and that leaves 2 riders on course. They'll get the white flag, and then they'll get the checker next time through.
It looks like Lee King will take the win for this. But I think Danny will be happy with that 2nd place because this was a really strong group.
King, one more run at it into the last lap. Mooreshead still in the hunt, but just haven't seen the gap closing the way that Morissette needs to here. She just cannot get up to that window up on front. She's holding the gap, she's just not closing the gap.
Yeah, there is a chance that Danny could try to catch King, but man, King is just taking those turns real well.
King through the line, up the Formula Fix win here in California.
King is relieved. That was a hard race. That was a fast race. Even though Lee did have the upper hand being ahead, I mean, anything can happen in that moment. So happy right now. Doing it with the wheelie. Great finishing move.
Can't win a fixed gear race without doing a wheel. It's a law here in California.
Unless you're Danny Morissette, she can actually balance a bike on her chin. Don't believe me? It's on the internet, I promise. Oh, look at that camaraderie between King and Morissette. Hell yeah.
A well-fought battle between the two in the defined category, but Lee King at a stand on the top step of the podium, right next to Danny Morissette in second place here at Formula Fix. So that will wrap up our defined category and going to take us to the expansive category final up next. Got to feel good for Lee King. Danny Morissette going to go second, and Brittany O'Neill going to round out this category podium. In third is Karen Walker, settles in fourth place. Ellison into fifth, then Lopez, Aya, and Martucci rounding out your final round.
Yeah, definitely a strong showing from all of these racers, just trying to give it all they got. And of course, that is just so unique, yet so fun. I mean, talking to these athletes earlier, you know, they all said that, you know, they love going around this. It's a lot of fun, but it's also unpredictable. Here we got the final. We got Bueno in the green and the Velo jersey, and then we got Kel McKenzie in the Squid Bikes suit. These two, if I had to put money on it, will be out in the front. I know we have Alec Briggs right next to Kel. Alec's also really strong and just knows how to take a line, but it's really going to determine, where will Kel go, where will Bueno go.
So Bueno, McKenzie, and Briggs get the coveted front row starting spot, but they'll have to battle names like Jack Banzek, Wyatt Funk, we saw had some good rides earlier, Sam Harding into this one, Devin Armstrong, and Frank Martucci into this final.
Yeah, we got Sam Harding racing for Mash there in the orange and purple jersey. He has been really just great to watch. Also the skid master of slowing down. We got Alec. You can see, like, everyone is just, thinking about, all right, what's going to be the next move? Where am I going to go? Can I keep this bike up? Just kidding. They can't.
Kel McKenzie with the fist bump as well.
Yeah, Alex Alec's actually in a good position too, starting on that right side or left side. Because if he really wanted to, if he has a nice strong start, he could possibly get past Mackenzie and Bueno. But it really determines who can clip in the fastest first. Because as a reminder, good racers have to start with a foot down, and then when they say go, you got to clip in. And sometimes if you're too nervous, you can fuck up that clipping in and essentially almost like trip over yourself. But these guys have experience. They know what they're doing.
The problem here for these riders is that Alfredo Bueno is going to be one of the fastest guys in this race. If he gets daylight, it's over. You cannot let Alfredo Bueno get away from this group. The other two guys on this front row, they're going to win with bike handling, but Alfredo Bueno has the very unique, dangerous combination of both a very strong rider and also a great bike handler here. So Kel McKenzie and Alec Briggs up on that front row. They're going to have to figure out what to do about him. And don't count out these guys at the back either. Dylan Buffington going to be looking for a good result here. And, of course, the other British rider, Sam Harding, here at the back. They could still have good results today.
Yeah, Sam Harding, I mean, just seeing the position that he's in, if he really wanted to, he could snake his way up or at least find a wheel to grab, like number 4 with Wyatt Funk. If he can get that wheel and hold that line and take it nicely, there's a chance that he can also catch up and get up to Mackenzie and Bueno.
So now time for the Expansive Final. It will be the final event of the 2024 Formula Fixed Showcase here in California. The riders in the grid, and now the Expansive Final is underway.
All right, and it's looking like Bueno is taking it in the front with Alec Briggs right behind him.
Look at Jack Banaszak in the orange, skidding his way up into third for the MASH San Francisco team. He's going to find his way into the corners here very fast, but Bueno got the daylight that he was looking for, and now Alec Briggs has got to figure out how and when he's going to make the pass on Alfredo Bueno. He's not going to get a lot of opportunities. Alec Briggs will have 1 or 2 doors open, and that's it. Those are the only chances he's going to get to pass Bueno here.
Yeah, Bueno's really just trying to stay focused, and I think he can sense that Alec's right behind him, and all Alec has to do is just stay on that wheel for a couple of laps and then attack. Because one tactic is you can try to tire out that person in front of you and have them do all the work while you're sitting behind them, in a way just kind of saving that wheel and saving that energy. And then once he sees Bueno make any wrong move, that's when Alec can also attack and go.
Let me ask you this, though. What if Bueno never makes a wrong move? What if Alec Briggs is going to have to make his own block out there tonight?
Oh, man. Well, then Alec is going to have to think fast and get a new strategy, or at least hang on until the very last second and then attack. Jack right there, right behind him. He was wide on. And Bueno is still so strong in the front. Bueno's trying to shake off Alec Briggs, with Wyatt Funk trying to grab Briggs' wheel.
Bueno going to be
Sam Harding right behind Jack. Yeah, we got the UK and San Francisco right here trying to pass each other. Bueno is really making a nice gap away from Alec, but I don't think Alec is going to let him get away that easily.
Bueno back to the front, just 5 riders remaining out here.
Oh, but
now
Alex,
Briggs gets the pass on Bueno. And now Briggs to the front. Now Bueno back in that same position. He's got to figure out how to beat Alec Briggs here with just 2 laps to do it.
Yeah, that was
Bueno has a much smaller gap back to Briggs here.
Yeah, Alec found the perfect window to just get in front of him, especially in that corner. That was a very tricky corner, as has been common in crashes, and Alec just knew exactly when to make that move. But now, I mean, Bueno is saying, no, 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 I'm not going to let go that easy. He's right on his wheel. He's going to hope that Alex will get tired, and then he can go and attack right out in front.
That requires Briggs to let a door open, though, to make a mistake here. And now we will watch the front of this one closely, waiting to see if Bueno can find a way around. He's doing the exact same thing we saw earlier. Bueno is starting to take risks that he wouldn't have taken before, but he has to. He has no choice. The only way that Alfredo Bueno is going to get around Alec Briggs this late in the race is to try something big. Try and make a wide turn. Try and skip one of those corners. Whatever it is, you've got to take a gamble to beat Alec Briggs now.
Absolutely. And I mean, you know, Bueno is actually close enough where he can hold on and just wait to make that move, because you don't want to make a move too early and then be in the front and then get tired and then have Alec go ahead of you. So it'll be really interesting to see when he's going to make that attack.
Oh, he's going to try on the inside. He doesn't get there. Briggs closes the door. Bueno looking over the shoulder. Going to have one more shot at it here. Remember, it'll be into the hairpin. That's where Briggs made the pass on Bueno. Let's see if Bueno can give him a taste of his own medicine right here. Not able to get there. Briggs goes a little wide. There was a small door open. Bueno's going to try. Squeeze down again in the corner, and down goes Bueno.
Oh, no. You hate to see it. Bueno was just doing so good, but the nerves can get to you. One wrong move, and that's it, folks.
Well, this is what I was talking about earlier. Bueno was taking big risks, but he had to. He didn't have a choice. That was the only way he was going to get over the top of Alec Briggs. And unfortunately, the gamble does not pay off for Alfredo Bueno as he goes down, and Alec Briggs is going to solo his way to a Formula Fixed win tonight. Oy, 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 what a chaotic closing final few laps here at Formula Fixed, and now we shift our attention back to what will be the new second and third place on the road, because Bueno is out of this one.
And now we have Wyatt Funk taking that second. I think he's really relieved right now, because, you know, sometimes it's just luck. You just hope, okay, maybe something will happen where I can get back up there. But, you know, Alec is far up. I don't think Wyatt can catch his wheel, but you never know. Anything's possible. Formula Fixed.
Sam Harding moves up into third position right now, so looking like a UK sandwich on the podium as things stand with 1 and 3 out of the UK. Briggs got a nice gap here. He's going to be just fine. That's going to be it for third place. He'll be eliminated, but still holding on for third for Sam Harding. And now just 2 more laps for Alec Briggs on the front.
Oh, and you know, Sam did that redemption race, so I think he does feel like he redeemed himself. I mean, top 3, I feel like that's such a good finish. Better than
great ride
last.
for Wyatt Funk out there as well. Looks like he's going to be able to hold on for second place on the day. After all that chaos and all the crashing, Funk holds on, and it really comes down to who is the most steady out there in this final heat into the finals. But now Briggs going to have one more celebratory lap around the Formula Fixed course here.
And if anything happens to Briggs, I mean, he'll be able to recover, because he does have a gap on Wyatt Funk. But I think now these guys know, like, no, we're just going to keep pedaling and just stay upright, because, you know, there's no reason to make any wrong moves here.
And now all Briggs has to do is decide how he's going to celebrate when he hits the line here to become the Formula Fixed champ. Welcome to California. Alec Briggs already popping the wheelies on the way in. He will be the 2024 Formula Fixed Showcase champ.
Beautifully done. Briggs with the signature wheelie. He wouldn't do it any other way. He's just relieved.
Look at the dismount, even smooth off the bike.
Got the bridge showing love. Like you said, it was a nice UK sandwich. We have some tea on the side.
You see why Alec Briggs earned that #1 on his back. He was the odds-on favorite coming into this one, and today the odds proved true. as Alec Briggs wins the expansive category. Here at Formula Fix, to be expected. Wyatt Funk having a great weekend here. Going to end up second place with Sam Harding in third. Alfredo Bueno pulling out of fourth place. Even after going down in that final, that's a good result for Alfredo Bueno, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, I know Bueno's probably crushed because, he was looking good to either be first or second. But, I mean, being in a top five, that's still so good, especially after a crash. I know he's going to be kicking himself because he did crash in the Red Bull karting race as well a few years back. But, when you go hard, you just give it your all. And, yeah, Bueno did exactly that.
Well, certainly no surprise winners on the list today, but did we learn anything from racing as we move forward in the Formula Fixed Racing Series, as we get more of these events? What's your biggest takeaway from the day today?
Really, anything can happen. When you think that, oh, this person's going to win, or, this is going to be the top three, no, man, it's anything can go wrong in just a split of a second. So I think it's really exciting just to see, it really is a gamble here. And hard to know who's going to take that win.
I think for me, it's not always the strongest rider who wins here, and Alfredo Bueno is the perfect example of that. It doesn't matter how strong your legs are. It doesn't matter what your VO2 max is. It's not really a physical race out here. It's a combination of explosive power, bike handling, and it really comes down to consistency as well. Alec Briggs has that. He clearly understands the limit of that bike. He understands the limit of what it can do better than a lot of these other riders, because it's just a 1% difference, but that 1% makes all the difference.
Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world, that's for sure.
So we'll be getting ready for our podium presentation coming up here shortly. We'll talk about our defined category and then our expansive category as well, which we just watched wrap up with an Alec Briggs victory.
All right, we got the podium going on. Got Brittany O'Neill in third. So happy, looking good.
Look at the belt. I love it.
Good looking belt.
Danny Mooreshead going to be on the podium in second place on the day. And again, Mooreshead did all that she could. She rode about as good of a race as you could have ridden.
Yeah, I think she's just happy being in that top three, especially making that bike change.
And that'll take us to the top step where Lee King climbed to the top of the defined category with a hug from 2 and 3.
Yeah, Lee did absolutely phenomenal. It was a great showing from all three of these athletes, and you can just see they are just so happy. They had fun. They're relieved it's over, but man, it's a really, really good showing.
So King, Mooreshead, and O'Neill, your top three in the defined category here at Formula Fix. And now time for a little champagne celebration on the podium.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Oh, there we go.
Careful with the water.
Oh yeah, victory sip right there. A nice big cheers from these athletes. Your top three for the 2024 Formula Fix.
I move to our expansive category podium up next. All right, they're ready right now. So they're going to get started with third place, first up to the podium. Saw a great ride out of the UK for Sam Harding. That'll be good for third place for him.
Sam is relieved. It's over. He's on that podium. Then we're going to have Wyatt Funk coming up to second, representing Fullerton, California. He's feeling good.
But no question, top step of this podium belongs to Alec Briggs. It was a clear and definite victory at Formula Fix today, leaving no question in the expansive category. And look at the podium machine Briggs is going to roll up on here.
Oh, yeah. As he should.
I'm usually not a fan of podium bikes, but I'm willing to make an exception for this one.
Yeah, we'll let it slide this time. And here are your top three Formula Fix champs. Not making it look easy, that's for sure. And of course, they're going to have to put the cherry on top with a nice champagne celebration.
Briggs getting absolutely ambushed on the top step of the podium. I think he got it done. Oh.
Is that good luck? Bad luck? Probably good luck. Who knows?
There you go. He's going to get some loaner champagne. He'll at least get a pull off the bottle as Alec Briggs celebrates his win here at Formula Fixed.
Yeah, he's going to go home very happy, taking the win in the U.S. Hopefully this means he'll come back for more races out in the States. I think it was definitely worth the travel.
On Alec Briggs back heading forward now. He's not going to be able, well, he's never been able to go to a fixed gear race without having a target on his back, but I guess that target gets a little bigger now.
Yeah, you know, I think at this point, he just ignores the target and just stays in the front.
Oh, I think Danny Morsehead is doing the trick. I just saw a bike being balanced on a chin, and I'm pretty sure it was Danny Morsehead. There it is. There it is.
There it is. Danny's signature move. Yeah, Danny's great at that.
Well, it's not a fixed gear race until you see Danny Morsehead balance a bike on her chin, and I guess that means we got ourselves a bike race here.
Yes, we do. You got the champagne, the bikes on the chin, the mini bike that came out of nowhere. It's like watching a bear on a tricycle. It's really great. But yeah, it was such a great turnout. I mean, the crowd absolutely loved it. You can hear them just go crazy, go wild. This event actually almost sold out, which just shows, you know, how much interest folks have, because this is just such a different experience that you're not used to seeing.
Certainly speaks to the concept of fixed gear racing and what Formula Fixed is trying to do here. I would call this a successful pilot after watching tonight. The racing was spot on, start to finish. Every heat was awesome. The finals were thrilling. It really was an incredible way to watch some fixed gear bike racing out there. As we get ready for our final interviews, let's go back down to Nico de Portaga Cabrera with our winners. Nico.
Top step of the podium. That was an insane race. It was deadlocked with you and Danny. What did it take to keep her off your wheel?
I don't know, I was terrified the whole time, honestly. I kept seeing her out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, I just gotta not let her get any closer. And every lap, I think she was getting closer and closer and closer.
It looked like it was getting pretty close, but you looked smooth, you looked dialed. What did it take today to get all the way to the final?
Staying smooth, staying fast, and just picking the right lines.
Well, you did it. You nailed it. That's your second podium, top step here on the go-kart track. Congrats, Lee. You crushed it today. Lee King.
Made it look easy out there for Lee King. As you heard Nico say, second time standing on that top step of the podium here. Again, some riders get it. Once you know how to do it, it becomes a whole lot easier to continue to do it.
Yeah, definitely. But then, of course, the competition does not get any easier. That's for sure.
All right, Nico down there in the scrum, continuing to try and grab interviews for us. Let's see if he's got someone new. Nico. See if we can grab a word with maybe Alec Briggs. He is being mobbed by media down there right now at the finish line, as he should, as the winner of the final heat. All right, sounds like Nico is ready to go. Let's go back down to Nico.
Alec,
Yo,
we talked right before the finals. We talked about some changes you made to your bike, some changes to the strategy. It looked like it worked out there. Tell me how you got ahead.
yeah, man, it was a tactical race. I think when you add 16 laps in, it changed everything. Because Alfredo was just going so hard, and I was like, damn, this is like, I'm struggling. And I was a lot quicker over like the technical section, but through that fast right, I was just losing the rear tire, and he could just gain, and I was like, I don't know how long I can do this for. The thing is, I know from experience that when you lead, it's harder, because you're always just trying to break the guy. And I think he blew, so he let me through here, and I was like, okay, cool, well, I'm going to slow down, because I know he's going to try and pass me with like 3 or 4 laps to go, and I'm just going to go full gas. And then so third place was catching us, and all of a sudden I felt him touch my wheel, like 2 laps before he went down, and I was like, what happened there? And then the next lap happened again, and he was down, and I was just like, I was actually sad, because I know that he was probably the quicker rider, and me and him deserve to like battle it right to the last lap. It's a shame that we missed it, but hey man, I can't complain, you know.
I mean, you guys battled for a lot of laps out there, but you took control of the race at the end of the day. Congratulations, Alex.
Thank you so much.
Another champion under the belt.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you for putting it on, man.
Alec Briggs, Formula 6 champ 2024.
Interesting to hear. There was some contact between those wheels that caused Alfredo Bueno to go down, just trying to get a little too aggressive out there. But that's what fixed gear racing is all about, and we saw that on display out there tonight. The aggressive riding, the riders that were willing to take the risks. Sometimes they paid off, but sometimes not so much.
Absolutely. I mean, as mentioned before, you want to get that wheel and hold on to it. But if you get too close, it could be a close call, or you just go down. But I mean, Alex just seemed so relieved and happy to get that win. I don't think he would have been happy with a second place. But it really would have been interesting to see how him and Bueno would have done to the end. But, there's always next year.
We'll just have to wait until the 2025 edition of the Formula Fixed Series. I would say mission accomplished here from California for the showcase here in 24 as we wrap up our coverage of tonight's racing. For Veronica Volok here in the booth with me and Nico de Portaga Cabrera out on the field. My name is Brad Soner, saying thanks for watching and being with us here in California. It has been an awesome, awesome day of racing and certainly an awesome evening of finals racing out there tonight. So on behalf of everyone out here in California, thanks for watching, and we'll see you back for 2025 next year.